Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into CHIMERIX's latest annual report. Is this a company poised for a breakthrough, or is it just another biotech struggling to stay afloat? Let's see if the numbers tell us a story of boom or bust. CHIMERIX, a biopharmaceutical company, is all about developing new cancer treatments with their main focus on something called imipridones. Think of them as a specialized team trying to create more targeted cancer therapies. But hold on, before we even get into the usual financial deep dive, there's a twist. Jazz Pharmaceuticals is planning to acquire CHIMERIX. It's like a bigger fish swallowing a smaller one. Jazz is offering 8.55 per share, which totals to about $935 million of lot of money. This deal is expected to close sometime in the second quarter of next year, 2025. CHIMERIX is waiting for the FDA, the government agency that approves drugs, to give the thumbs up to their drug called dordaviprone. They are hoping for a decision by August 18, 2025. Getting this approval would be huge for them. Dordaviprone is currently in a global randomized phase 3 trial for patients with diffuse glioma or diffuse midline glioma, which harbor a H3K27M mutation. Basically, it means they're running a very important study on patients who have a type of brain tumor that has very few treatment options. In November 2024, they shared an updated response assessment which showed some promising results. Patients in the study demonstrated some positive response. It's worth keeping an eye on. Besides dordaviprone, CHIMERIX is working on another drug called ONC206, which is undergoing testing right now. This is their second generation imipridone. It's like upgrading to a newer model with better features. They struck a deal with Ohara Pharmaceutical to develop dordaviprone in Japan. Ohara will help CHIMERIX expand its action study into Japan and will cover some of the cost. That could translate to about $3.3 million paid through December 2026. Remember Tembexa, their smallpox treatment? They sold it to Emergent a while back. They are still waiting for additional payments that depend on how well Emergent does with Tembexa. It is worth noting that the FDA has granted dordaviprone Fast Track designation for the treatment of adult recurrent high-grade glioma, rare pediatric disease, designation for treatment of H3K27 MDMG, and orphan drug designations for the treatment of glioblastoma, and for the treatment of malignant glioma. Okay, now for the numbers. CHIMERIX is considered a non-accelerated filer and smaller reporting company. In simpler terms, they aren't the biggest fish in the sea, and they're not moving super fast in terms of reporting. The market value of their stock held by the public was about $74.23 million back in June 2024. This gives you an idea of the company's size and investor interest before the Jazz Pharma news broke. But as always, there are risks. This report highlights key risks that make investments speculative or risky, including that the pending merger with Jazz is subject to a number of conditions beyond their control and may not be completed in a timely manner or at all. There is also dependence on third-party manufacturers to produce commercial supplies of any approved product candidates, and that the anticipated benefits of the sale of Tembexa assets to Emergent may not be realized fully or at all, or may take longer to realize than expected. The FDA accepted CHIMERIX's new drug application filing seeking accelerated approval of dordaviprone. It confirmed it will receive priority review under the terms of the Prescription Drug User Fee Act. It will be completed by August 18, 2025. Here's a quick look at their response assessment data. For RONA 2.0, the company observed an objective response in 28% of cases, but overall the data needs to be seen with a grain of salt. RONA 2.0, also known as Response Assessment in Neuro-Oncology Teuton, is just one of the ways to score their response and can be subjective. Dordaviprone appears to be relatively safe, with most side effects being mild. The leadership team has successfully executed large-scale clinical studies and regulatory approvals of investigational agents. CHIMERIX continues to seek opportunities to in-license other development programs and reviews transactions designed to build its product candidate pipeline. They sold their exclusive worldwide rights to Brincidofovir in specified related assets to Emergent. So this is no longer their main focus. It is up to Emergent to develop it. CHIMERIX's main office is located at 2505 Meridian Parkway, Suite 100, Durham. Turning to the financials, let's see what's happening under the hood. The pendency of the merger with Jazz could adversely affect their business, results of operations, and financial condition. Now for the important part, CHIMERIX lost $88.4 million for the fiscal year 2024. Compare that to the previous year where they lost $82.1 million. Ouch, it doesn't seem to be improving. CHIMERIX is considered a non-accelerated filer and smaller reporting company. The aggregate market value of the voting and non-voting common equity held by non-affiliates of the registrant was about 74.3 million, and there were about 93.8 million share outstanding. They are developing dordaviprone for H3K27M mutant diffuse glioma and are currently enrolling approximately 450 P27M mutant diffuse midline glioma associated with other forms of clinical benefit. These response to therapy were rated based on the RANO 2.0, RANO HEG and RANO LGG. Highest observed objective response was RANO 2.0 of 28%. And it's important to note that RANO 2.0, the most recently established criteria for this disease currently, and not an industry standard. CHIMERIX has 79 full-time and 2 part-time employees. Of these employees, 60 employees are engaged in research and development activities, and 21 employees are engaged in finance, legal, commercial, human resources, facilities, and general management. This is a small company for the amount of work that needs to be done. They've never paid dividends and don't plan to anytime soon, so don't expect any cash payouts if you invest. A few of the most pressing risks highlighted include the failure to obtain additional financing, which could force them to delay or eliminate their product development programs, and the commercial success of dordaviprone, which depends on the acceptance of these products by the medical community, including physicians, patients, pharmacists, healthcare payers, or government agencies. Let's see where the money is going. Looking at research and development expenses, the company spent about $74.6 million in 2024 compared to $68.8 million in 2023. This is a $5.8 million or 8.4% increase. That's Warren Buffett's style of analysis. You need to see the cost to know if it's worth. Their interest income decreased from $11 million to $8.2 million. They just have less money to earn interest on. They are a business, not a bank. These restrictions could prevent them from pursuing strategic business opportunities, taking actions with respect to their business that they may consider advantageous, and responding effectively and/or timely to competitive pressures and industry developments, and may, as a result, materially and adversely affect their business results of operations and financial condition. There is no guarantee that they will be able to maintain compliance with Listing Rule 545455 LAS Tevan Cheney in CVBT, for then delisting of the common stock could negatively impact the liquidity and market price of their common stock. The FDA has granted dordaviprone rare pediatric disease designation. However, an award of this nature does not guarantee it will meet the eligibility criteria for the agency's priority review voucher. On the surface, CHIMERIX appears to be at a turning point with its potential acquisition by Jazz. However, their reliance on this single transaction and pipeline candidate exposes shareholders to significant risks. Here, the risk shifts to depending on the company's proprietary ability to protect key assets through patents. Patent applications may fail to result in issued patents with claims that cover the products in the United States or in other countries. If this were to occur, early generic competition could be expected against any product candidates they may develop. Ultimately, the future of CHIMERIX lies in the hands of regulators, its acquirer Jazz Pharmaceuticals, and the execution of the merger. It must receive marketing authorization for dordaviprone in the United States, successfully execute the Phase 3 action study, complete the Phase 1 C26 study, and evaluate Phase 2 development indications. They have experienced significant stock price volatility in recent years due to uncertainties surrounding regulatory approvals, developments regarding the sale of their Tembexa program, and inability to obtain additional funding. The acquisition helps mitigate the liquidity, but there are still other regulatory variables, making CHIMERIX a very risky position. Because of the number and variability of factors that will determine their use of the net proceeds from their financing transactions, their ultimate use may vary substantially from their currently intended use. Their failure to apply these funds effectively could result in financial losses. Okay, that was a look at CHIMERIX's recent filing. It seems that it may be swallowed by Jazz. There is a big drug in the pipeline, but it needs approval, and that doesn't seem enough. This is a small niche company that is about to be swallowed by a much bigger one. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And as always, do your own research before making any investment decisions.